Boy, but they don't get me that too. Damu tu jamda ko tifu fukuta rufu. My telephone they ring, make a answer my phone call. You know the go banzo, they say they don't block you. Like them will inside your team man no free hide. I don't need for talk, you go know. Language so sweet, easy and unique. Everywhere we go, we unite. Everybody feeling delighted. Each time I talk in my dialect, and they make them feel so excited. Anytime they feel it legit. Man for me, I will like walk. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Mercy to tonight, mercy tonight. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Man for me, I will like walk. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Mercy to tonight, mercy tonight. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Let's see, guys, let's get to the door. Coffee, something. But now we are watching go. Coffee, something. Fancy girls, let's get to the door. Coffee, something. But now we are watching go. Coffee, something.
Once saw your Ethan Kevata, Ethan Kevata.
Now so everybody feeling me like I'm rolling on the beat like that. Bounce up boy, back in the day when the gym and the key we were beating me. Who no be no samba? Siswaka for Salah and December. Anuba, mami hala kukuna. Check out the for disaster. One so I may you make a song. Two sanga may you fuck a fa. I love it, now we really give a. Iban is all basang. One so I may you take a song. Two sanga may you fuck a fa. I love it, now we really give a. Iban is all basang. Can't man for me, I will I want. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Mercy to tonight, mercy tonight. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are.
Hi, good evening. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and as usual for being on time. If you know what I always do, I always ask you to share. That's what I'm doing. We're going to start in about a minute just so that more people can join us, and our beautiful guest is backstage ready to share what all her experiences with us. So please just share. We'll give it a minute, get a few more people on the stream, and then we go live. So thank you so much, and I'll leave you with the rave of the moment with a minstrel. And if he's watching, or if anybody who is from SO is watching, I need the lyrics of this song, please. Thank you very much. And I'll leave you with Witty Minstrel. So please share. In a minute, we'll be right back. Thank you.
One song, the yo you drink the sun. Two song of the yo you funky fa. I love it, now we lick it fa. Man for me, I will lay one. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Mercy to tonight, mercy tonight. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Man for me, I will lay one. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Mercy to tonight, mercy tonight. There's no one goes so we proud of who we are. Let's see, guys, let's get to the door. We proud of who we are. And now we are watching go. We proud of who we are. Let's see, guys, let's get to the door. We proud of who we are. And now we are watching go.
Be proud of who who we are, right? Hello, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to the Woman Experience with Goretti, your host for the show. I'm so honored to have you here tonight. Thank you for spending this Wednesday evening with me and our beautiful guest who is backstage, excited to come on. I just want to take a minute for those, because I know that every new guest brings someone new to the platform. And for those who are new, thank you so much for coming to support your guest, your friend, your family, or just an author that you like. We really appreciate you for being with us tonight. So what we do on this platform every Wednesdays and Friday evenings at 8 p.m., which is UK time, which currently we're in the British summer times, and it's the same time as Cameroon. And I know that right now in Paris, in Germany, where our guest is joining us from, it's 9 p.m. And in the US, I know Maryland area Eastern, it's 3 p.m. So if you're joining us from any of those places, this is what we do every Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. on the Woman Experience. What we're doing here is just building a community where we learn by sharing our experiences. That's it. No long thing, no long story. We learn through each other's experiences. One woman's experience, I personally believe that so strongly, can totally change your life, can totally influence a decision you are going to make, can truly make you see things completely differently, can have such an impact in your life that you would be surprised at, or also can just make you see an ally or someone that you can, an empath in whatever it is you're going through at that moment in time. And if you are a Christian, this episode is certainly for you, because our guest for tonight, she tries to make us see the positive in every situation through the lens of a Christian. And I think Christians will really enjoy this. So if you've got a Christian sister friend, please tell them to come watch this show tonight, because it's really going to be a great one for all of us. And as you know, especially for those who are new to the show and for our guests or our regulars, who I appreciate very much, it is a very interactive community. Our community is judgment free. It is, again, learning through each other's experiences. And so we don't want you to be shy. If there's anything we're saying that you have some experience of, or if you've got any questions about, just put it in the comments and you would get an answer from any other person that's watching tonight. So please share this and feel free to say whatever is on your mind. Again, this is the Woman Experience with Goretti. We're here every Wednesdays at 8 p.m., Fridays at 8 p.m. UK time. And what we do here is we learn through another woman's experience. So thank you. And I'm not going to take too much of your time before I introduce our guest, but I just want to acknowledge another incident that's happened again in our community, but this time in Cameroon, where there's been another murder-suicide situation. A young girl was murdered. And I just want us to, I don't want you to think that we're not thinking about it, because my team and I we're working on, like I said, a 4-part series where we will address these things. We don't just want to address it nonchalantly. We want to really take the time, understand it, so that whatever information, whatever we're going to share during the 4-part series will be truly impactful. So we empathize. Our condolences go to the families of both of them, actually. And we just hope that our community can find a way to heal somehow through this. So without further ado, our beautiful guest is joining us from Germany. She is an medical physicist, and she is the author of this brilliant book, Beautifully Broken but Blessed. Please join me in welcoming the very, 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 the very, very, very charismatic, there's so many adjectives I want to use to you, but I'm just going to welcome you, Brigitte Mafopa Njunda, to the Woman Experience.
Oh, thank you very much, Goretti. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. You're all welcome to the show. Thank you very much.
It is, honestly, it is it is our honor. It's an honor that you accepted to come on our show and share this wonderful, wonderful book that I have already bought my copy. And you can see I've got my bookmark in because I have been reading this thing because you make it so relatable, so relatable. I can't speak enough of this book, Bri. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me to the show. Thank you very much. I'm really honored. Thank you very much. I'm very, very honored. Thanks a lot.
We're definitely just going to dive into it because there's so much I want to pick out, and there's so many gems here. But just for your guests who don't know you, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am a daughter of God. That's the very first identity I always like to use.
Yes.
I am a mother. I am a medical physicist.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm an author.
I know.
And this is just me. And this is just me. This is all of me.
Bri, at what point, I call her Bri, at what point did you officially start calling yourself an author?
I think today. Yes, exactly. Because a friend of mine told me, Bri, authors don't stay too quiet. You are too quiet. You have to get up. You have to go out. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So I think today.
I know, right?
Yes. Thank you very much.
You are an author. I have the proof right here. A lot of us, and I know that so many of us can relate to this. A lot of us are so shy to own whatever whatever it is we have earned. We are so afraid to own our brilliance that some people are medical doctors, but they will never ever introduce themselves as Dr. This. They'll be just like, hi, I am. So I need all of us to earn it, really, really. And you are an author. The proof is right here, woman of God.
Thank you very much. I am earning it now. Thank you very much.
That says she's so encouraging. Oh, I'm so glad there's so many people here who know you personally and are excited about this.
Oh, that's Abu, my friend, Evodia. I call her Abu.
Is she joining us from Germany?
No, she's from Spain. She's the CEO of Evo Inspires.
Do you see how excited we are going? Yes. I mean, I always do this. I always welcome my guests to the show. And so I'm going to call a few that have joined us by name and just welcome them to the show. So I really want to welcome Collie. She was the first person to join us. Yes. Helen Tunga, thank you so much for joining. Innocent here, Njunda.
That's my brother.
That's good. Hile Aben is here. That's my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's
our sister.
Yes. Who else? Joelle. Thank you so much, Cheryl. You're welcome.
I know Sherry. Oh, that's my little sister.
Maggie is here. Evodia obviously is here. So Cynthia is here. Melon. Yeah. So many people are here for you tonight. So I'm really happy.
Thank you so much.
What inspired you to actually write a book?
What actually inspired me to write a book was my own very self. I wrote that book for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why did you think that you needed to write a book for you? Because so many things, I was going through so many things in my life, Mm-hmm.
And most of the things were like mental, spiritual, physical, but not really much. So I started jotting down some of the stuff. Mm-hmm. And later on, I realized I've had so many things that I jotted down. Mm-hmm. And I decided to put them down together and I said to myself, somebody else needs to read this. Because after talking with a lot of friends, interacting with friends and family, you realize that everybody we have some similar issues, you know what I'm saying, right? Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I really like I'll call them the titles or each chapter. They're quite a few chapters, but one of the chapters that I really wanted to talk about is when discouragement sets in. Because first of all, how did you yourself deal with discouragement when you were trying to put this book together?
You know, when I wanted to put the book together, right? I mean, I had my scraps of papers and my thoughts. The problem now was me. You know,
Mhm,
this thought came on, it came up, and like, it's like, who is going to read this kind of book? There are so many of these books out there. Who is
mhm,
going to buy yours?
mhm,
Who are you? Who knows you? I mean, what do you really have to say?
mhm,
And you know, it kept, and then at times I will put on my computer and I just
mhm,
want to write down something. I'll write a sentence, it doesn't make sense, I delete it.
mhm.
Write again, it doesn't make sense, I delete it. You know, or maybe I write down a page, I come
Yes.
back the next day, I read it, and like, this thing is nonsense. Who is going to read this?
Self-doubt, isn't it? Self-doubt.
Self-doubt, you know? And
Yes.
then, but I know I have something to say.
Mhm.
You know, you have these inner thoughts discouraging you, and I mean, for you to see yourself small.
I
But
know. Yes. Yes. I relate. I relate. So, at what point did you cross that threshold where you thought, you know what? I'm done doubting myself. I'm writing this book.
okay, there came a point when I said to myself, look, Brie, authors were not born today. You
Mhm,
have to start. And
mhm,
I actually had this vision to write a book like 3 or 4 years ago. I wanted to.
mhm.
So I just said to myself, this is the right. There came a point I just said, look, you cannot have this scrap of paper. And then the interesting thing was that these papers were inside a box. And my husband was like, if you don't put this thing together, I will take this box and throw them outside. And I just turn and look at my husband. I'm like, if you put my box outside with these papers,
Mhm.
then you're going to know who Brie is.
So,
So that was like a kick, you know?
exactly. So, in your case, you needed a kick from the backside.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. I understand that so well, and I like the way Brie does this book, which is fantastic. Is so she takes a topic, she writes about her personal journey within that topic, and then she gives you like a little workbook, so then you can make notes, and then you can write your own personal feelings. What I found really brave of you is how this book is like an intimate portrait of your
Yeah,
personal life.
that's right. That's right.
Like, weren't you scared?
Of course I was, you know, of course I was, because you know, you should always know each time you write something, when somebody reads it, each person is entitled to interpret it the way they want it to be.
Yes.
So when I wrote down the book, you know, I wrote down the book, I had the manuscript. I called my husband and I told him that, look, this is what I have. He already knew, but I told him that, please do read this book. If there is anything you want me to change, I'm going to change it. But you know, I always want to write the truth. I
Mhm.
mean, so he took the book, the manuscript, he read it as much as he read it. I told him, if there is anything you want me to change, just tell me, I'm going to do it. So
Yes.
he read it and he was like, he doesn't have anything to do, he doesn't have anything to change. It is okay with me. I'm like, okay, good, fine, thank you. And there you go. Yeah.
Honestly, because I mean, you are honest. You are brutally honest with the things that go on in your life,
Yeah.
and I mean, if you follow me on social media, you would think I'm a single mother. There is nothing that I have a family,
Yes,
So
I know.
I for your husband to let you write that, honestly, I have to commend him for that, because to bear your story like that to the world, and especially
Yeah, raw.
especially
Raw.
a judgmental society as ours.
Exactly,
We are,
exactly.
our culture says
Yes.
that you shouldn't wash your dirty linen in public, but
Yes.
you are washing your dirty linen. It's not necessarily dirty, but
No.
you're washing it out there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that is actually my point, you understand? Because I mean, growing up in Cameroon, I came to Germany, I studied, you know, I've lived in Germany for about 10 to 12 years. I
Mhm.
have kids, you know. So I just realized that some of these trouble are so common to women, men, girls, you know, to everybody. But the truth is nobody really wants to up to it.
Mhm.
So writing the book also for me is like a legacy I'm leaving behind to my kids, And before I wrote the book, I told them I want to write a book, and they were like, "What? You want to write a book, Mama? You want to be an author?" And I was like, "Yes, I will be an author." So they were like, "My challenge, how do I?" I needed to show them that book. So
Yeah.
I needed to show them the book.
Yeah, I like that. You found your motivation and you held on to it.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
I love that. And if you're a lot of people are joining us now, so thank you guys so much. Welcome to the Woman Experience. And a lot of you are new. I see people joining us from South Africa. Hi.
Oh, that's surely my brother.
Yes. Susan Njunda. Oh,
That's
great.
my sister from South Africa.
Thank you guys so much for joining. This is the Woman Experience, and what we do here every Wednesdays and Fridays evening is we just have honest conversations, and we try to learn through each other's experiences. So you're always welcome here, 8 p.m. UK time. I don't know what time that is in South Africa. Join us and let's learn. Let's just learn through our shared experiences. And we're talking with author and medical physicist, Mrs. Brigitte Mafopa.
Yes.
So there's something you wrote in Search of Happiness, this chapter, In Search of Happiness.
Yeah.
And it is so relatable. It is so relatable. Happiness seems to be very rare nowadays, you wrote. Everyone wants to be happy. We often search for it in all the wrong places or ways. Where do you look for your happiness? I'm throwing this question to the audience, those of you who are joining us. Where do you look for your happiness? Because we all want to be happy.
Yes, of course.
I don't know if we are happy though, but I think the ultimate goal is to be happy in whatever thing we do or life we live. Where do you find your happiness? How do you find your happiness? I'm throwing that out to the audience. Where do you find your happiness? How do you find your happiness? And Brie, where do you find your happiness from?
Okay, like I said in the very beginning, I am a child of God. And the Bible tells me, my Bible tells me, right, in Psalms 118, verse 24, this is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice in it and be glad. Goretti, I find my happiness in God. And why? Right? Why? Because He is permanent. The happiness in Him is permanent. The happiness in Him is stable. The happiness in Him never changes. I mean, I'm that kind of a woman. When I was growing up, I loved shoes. I just love shoes. So there came a time when, as I came to Germany, I buy shoes. See, if I see a shoe and I want it, it doesn't matter if I need it or I want it, I just have to get that shoe. So there came a point where if I don't even buy the shoe, I became very nervous. Real nervous. It's as if something was wrong with me.
Yes.
So that was when I started like, what is this? What is really this with this shoe issue? And each time I'll buy the shoe, you need to see me entering the house dancing. I think I have won my lotto, I think I've won something. So, that is what happened to me. So, so gradually, it's not only about shoes and other things in my life. So, gradually, I just realized that I can actually find that contentment, that happiness. Because what is happiness? Happiness is a state of well-being or contentment.
Yeah.
So, I find it in God.
Okay, Brie, I don't know what's happening to our network. But
it's no network. I'm fine.
Okay. I'm checking that it's not me. I'm just trying to check what's happening to our network. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I find happiness from God. He is the main source for me for happiness. It is permanent, it is constant, He never fails. Yeah.
You know where I used to find my happiness?
Tell me.
Chocolate. In chocolate. Yeah. Chocolate used to give me so much happiness. Honestly, like if I was feeling sad, I was feeling blue. Oh my God, I got my chocolate and then I have music, I'm good. As long as I'm eating chocolate and I have music, I am very, very, very good. But over the years, I've tried to find. So for somebody like me who is okay, for somebody who is not very religious,
Yeah.
where would you advise? Would you advise them to find happiness? Is there any place you would advise them to find happiness from for people who are not really religious? Before you think on that while I read people's comments. Immortal Musa says, I find my happiness in the Lord. Oh, powerful. I think he likes that, what you said. Collie says, my happiness comes from impacting the lives of others in my activism and loving the people around me. Mine is immaterial, but I get happy with cargo too. I know, right? You like painting, Collie. I believe happiness is within, and I personally find my happiness in the things within me that make me happy while putting God first and hoping he guides me to do those things.
Exactly.
Okay, but for somebody who wouldn't find their happiness from God, who is not necessarily very spiritual, where would you advise they find happiness from?
You can find happiness from other things, you understand. For example, just going for a stroll or jogging or reading or sitting together with the family, or if you're a family person, sitting together with your family, having quality time, and also like learning to appreciate little things, achievement in your lives, It, those are the things. You have a lot of things, but the thing is, for me, the main source of it is God.
It's God for you.
Yes,
And
for me.
I think what I can add to that is be honest with yourself and just,
Yes.
like I always say, do a mental check, a self check, and really find that thing that gives you peace.
Yes.
No matter how, yeah, because from that thing that gives you peace, I think you could find your happiness from there. Whatever it is that gives you peace, right? You agree with me or not?
I agree with you. And you know what? You can learn to be happy. Some people don't know that you can learn to be happy. You can learn to be happy. You can learn to be contented. Even you can learn how. For example, like I said, start appreciating the little things that you have achieved in your life. Start appreciating like Colette just said, she finds happiness when she does the things that impacts people's life. You understand? Yeah, if that is what you like, start appreciating, because what makes me happy must not necessarily makes the other person happy. It mustn't.
Of course, happiness is very subjective, and
It's
how
very
they always tell us that. And this immortal Moza is laughing at my chocolates. Yes, there are some things. Sometimes we want to find happiness in people, right? Do you find that? My personal experience, I will never forget, and I'm going to share this. And my husband, when I leave this place, is going to be like, why did you share this? But I'm going to share it because it was such a rude awakening to me. Many years ago, I'm talking about, what am I saying? Before we even had children, he said something to me that I will never forget. And I think that's what changed my perspective on happiness. He said to me, one time we had a little quarrel, and he said to me, stop making me the center of your happiness.
Oh.
I am not responsible for your happiness. Find your happiness. And I'm like, what? Happiness? Because throughout, when you're a young girl and you're in love, your happiness is in your love. But that thing, over the years, I began to understand it a bit more. And it's really gotten to the point where I truly understood. He may not even have understood what he said to me.
Yes.
But he completely changed my perspective. And when I started reading all these books about, happiness, you must find happiness in self.
Yes.
Before you find
yourself first.
I understand what it means. So, so many says we can find happiness in the smallest and simplest things around us. The blessing we get each day that we're not conscious about. For example, leaving your home and coming back safely. I know. Somebody is calling. Mommy's on the show.
That's it. It's all right. I'm live. Please, Mama.
That's okay.
Come to the rescue.
Yeah. Mimi, hi. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Thank you.
Happiness. Mimi says happiness is very subjective. Oh, see, this is my kind of person. Njunda Tanda says, I find my happiness when I watch movies.
Exactly. Exactly.
I hope you also watch Cameroonian movies.
Yes.
Because you're talking to a filmmaker right here. Innocent says, oh, I
That's
think it's like this. I
that's
thought
it.
you meant that he finds happiness at home. So I totally agree with Sumen. We can find happiness in the smallest things. But like I said, again, yeah, happiness is very subjective. But you write it so well because you say something. Oh gosh, I've already gone to the blame game. You see, the topics are also interesting that I am moving for. And that was not even on my list of things to do. I really love it. Mimi says, we have linked our happiness to others and things for the longest time. And that is so true, Brie.
That is so true. That is so true, you know.
Yeah. And
Which is
that's,
not supposed to be.
sorry, can you repeat that?
I said that is so true what she said, you know.
Which is not how it's supposed to be. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes. But you know, not everybody is filled with faith like you. Who,
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
I envy you guys who have that complete faith in God and in the Bible and in all these things. I really envy you because I question a lot. And so I think I'm very rational in my thinking. I don't leave my happiness to, I believe in God, don't get me wrong, but I don't leave my happiness to that, to that. I'm very rational in the way my happiness is physical. I need to see it. Mosa is asking, is it okay to find happiness in drinking? Bro, ask your liver. Ask your liver. Whatever it is your liver says, your liver can handle it. Why not?
Why not?
Christian actually says, your husband said the truth. A wife's happiness should not be dependent on the husband because he's not perfect. And I agree with you, Christian. Nobody
is perfect.
Nobody is perfect. But when you're in love, when you're building a family, you think that, you can't see past the man. You cannot, or you can't see past the woman. That's your whole life is centered around those people, your children and stuff. But then as you get older, you learn. Rosemary says, condition your mind, conscious decision to be happy by choosing not to think about negative things, which is hard though. Yes. All these positive thinkers, come. You guys come and impart us knowledge. How do you stay in a state of positive thinking? What do you do? How do you manage it day by day? Mimi, you are the expert on that. Let's revisit that because we have new people. And Brigitte, you have God, but how else do you practice staying in that grateful state, that state of gratitude?
You know, in order to stay in that state, right? You know, things. I mean, one of the things I do is you have to be careful with the kind of people you surround yourself with. You know, because if you also surround yourself with people that are not happy. You know, the Bible says iron sharpened iron. It does not mean that you don't love the people, you know. You love them, you have to ask yourself, how much time am I spending with these people that are always like you know, unhappy or negative or nagging, you know. They rob you in a way from your energy. They rob you in a way from your happiness. You understand? Because you hear the things before you realize it's in your head. You see, so that is one of the ways, you know, you should be wise. You should be wise.
Okay, in that wisdom, how do you handle that wisdom if maybe your wife, your husband, or you're staying at home, your parents are negative? Like if negativity is something you see every day, how do you stay in that positive state of mind?
Okay, you can do, okay, how do you stay in that? You can read motivational books that you have good books that are positive, that talks about happiness, how to learn to be happy. You have good books, for example, something like that, and you have other books. You can read those kind of books. You have also good websites. You know, social media has come to stay. You have also nice books, websites where you can read about happiness. But the truth is, you have to learn to be happy.
Okay. So it's something
You have
that
to learn it.
practice.
You have to practice it, you know. And it's so at times it's not only about reading it, but you speak it out also to yourself. At times you just stand in front of your mirror and speak these positive words so that you hear it and it gets in your head, it gets in your mind, it gets into your spirit, and you kind of like before you know it, you'll be happy.
It becomes a way of life.
It becomes a lifestyle.
Yes. Tessie says, I find happiness from a combination of things in general, where most aspects of life is proving rewarding. And Mimi says, as women, if we can find happiness within, we will raise better kids and communities, because as women, we are the center of the world.
Exactly.
Girl power, yeah. Brie, when you started writing this book, obviously we've talked about self-doubt, discouragement and self-doubt, but when you started writing this book, how did you deal with people who were like, now she's writing a book, what has she got to be able to be writing a book? How did you deal with detractors?
To distractors. When I wanted to write a book, just very few people knew about it.
Okay.
My husband, my kids, and my family, you know. And they knew from the very beginning I'm that kind of a person that writes. I started writing on my social media page on Facebook page for a very long time. So they knew that I was that kind of person that likes that kind of thing. So all of them, they encouraged me. None of them stopped me. So I was just lucky, you know.
No, you were not lucky. You did that thing that you said earlier, that you surround yourself with positive people.
Exactly.
You did that unconsciously, maybe because it's a way of life for you.
Yeah, it's a way of life for me, you know. So I mean, I really had these, positive people around me. I mean, they kept on asking, like my husband would ask, have you finished? What chapter do you need time? You know, I usually write a lot in the night. So I'll get up, it's like when I'm back like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, like, what were you doing? I said, I was writing. He's like, whoa, how many pages today? Some days I will tell him, have a page, one page, like, whoa. So when I finally removed the manuscript and I had like 100 and something, and he was like, oh, my goodness, you did it. I'm like, yes, thank God I did it.
Yes, you really did. I mean, for those who are joining us, because I see a few more people joining us, welcome to the Woman Experience with Goretti, and we're talking to author and medical physicist Brigitte Mafopa and Njunda, the author of this beautiful book, Beautifully Broken but Blessed. I recommend
the title, Beautifully Broken.
We are beautifully broken in our different
ways. Bird, we are blessed.
We truly are blessed in so many ways. And I recommend it on Amazon. It's on Amazon. I got my copy from Amazon. It took about 3 days to get to me. So please go and purchase it. I think I'll put hashtag support Cameroonian businesses. I'm not saying hashtag support Cameroonian businesses. I am recommending this book from an honest place. Because I could have said, Brie offered to send me a copy of this book. I was like, sis, if I don't buy this book, then how have I supported your business? So, so go on Amazon. It's Beautifully Broken but Blessed. And I see Fortune Njunda Innocent keeps putting the link there, and he's put it directly. Just click on that. It's a beautiful book to have. It's got workbook. It's workbook-like, so you can put your, okay, where's that camera? You can write down your notes, and it's for the Christian woman. But even if you're not very Christian-like, you can still benefit so much to benefit from this book. So I recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. Sandrine says, negative thinking comes
that's my sister.
From my strategy. My strategy is to speak loud against those thoughts. Like I also ask thoughts, what have you been giving me till now? I like that. I like that. If you ask those thoughts,
it's right. Yes.
Negative thoughts in my head. How much rent have you paid me? It's time to
exactly.
Time to kick you out so I get something else.
It kills your vision. You know, it only kills your vision. It stops you from moving ahead. The negative thoughts, they just hold you there in a box, you know.
Yes.
And we are not supposed to be in the box.
I like it. So I'm going to take you to another chapter which I like. The chapter is God, not Google. I liked it very much. God, not Google. And you said in this chapter you wrote a letter. I recalled a letter my sisters and I once wrote to someone we truly love. It was a letter we wish we had never written. You didn't really tell us much about why.
That's a family secret.
Okay. We wish we had. As this person, then a born-again Christian, received our letter, she read it, but she never said a word. So many years later, you meet this person and you asked her why she didn't reply. And she said, my dear, as soon as I received that letter from you guys, I took it to Christ.
Yes.
I love what you said, but I want you to tell people what you meant by how you interpreted that.
Okay, how I interpreted that, this letter, I wrote it, it was my sisters and I, my other two sisters and I, and it's a family thing. So we wrote that letter to someone that we love, and she took it. It was a very bitter letter. It was a letter full of, at a very young age, we wrote a lot of things inside. So she took the letter, and each time we were thinking that when she will see us, she will say something. She never said anything. So after I've grown up, I came to Germany, I went back home, and we met her, I met her, and I asked her, I took courage, to ask. I asked her, what did you do with that letter? And she said she took it to God. By then I could understand what she said. She actually what she meant was, she read the letter, it was painful, yes, but what she do? She prayed about it. She just prayed, and I could relate with her because there are times when I am so hurt. I will just write what somebody has done to me, close it, put it inside my Bible. There are times, oh yeah, you take it to God. You take it to God in prayers.
Because another chapter which I was going to come to, that Babylon not be store. I say it as some of us who will be doing. I'm going to tell her of what rubbish, Yeah,
exactly. So that is actually her way of saying. That was actually the way you take it to God. You go to God in prayers, or you just think about it, pray about it, and decide not to react. Because I think, and I know she did not react because she knew at that moment we were too young to understand what she was going through, why she behaved the way she was behaving, and she loved us so much that she did not want to cut us out from her. You understand? Yes. So it was later, after some years, that I actually understood what she did, and for that, my dear, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Yeah, it's that you should be able to, each word that is coming out of your mouth has an impact. It's not just about saying my beleno be store, my beleno be store. No, your belena store. You have to see to it that belena is a store.
I beg, Brie. Christian way, this is your Christian way. My audience.
Okay.
If now you, what do you do when you are presented with situations like this? Brie takes it to God. What do you do let me make it a lot more relatable. If somebody really pisses you off, like touches that nerve that is so sacred, that if it is basically the last straw, how do you react in such situations? Is this Brie situation the way that others do? Because I don't know. How do you react to it? Are you a taking to God person, or do you have other ways of relating? And if you're not necessarily a Christian, because there may be some atheists watching us, how do you deal with that kind when you're pushed again, when your back is against the wall and you know that is so and so person responsible for pushing you to the wall? How do you react? Brie takes it to God, right?
Yeah, there are so many ways, I take mine to God, but at times I talk. At times I ask. Yes,
so which one do you take to God, and which one do you just deal with?
Okay. When I take it to God, I take it to God in prayers. It does not mean that I will not act.
Okay.
In that moment that you've taken it to God, then you think about it, right? I meditate over what has happened, and I pray and I ask God for wisdom on how to tackle that issue. Because like I said before, words Once they are out, you cannot take them back. Words have impact. Words have, I mean, you can say something, that it will impact somebody positively or negatively. So for every word that has to come out of your mouth, you should be conscious about what you're saying. So it does not mean if the situation, depending on the situation, I will decide to handle it later or not to. That is my personal decision.
Let me throw this out here to everybody, especially to the Christians. Is it hard being a Christian? Brie, is it hard? I mean, having to consistently try and do right. Is it
The
hard?
Bible says that you have to walk your faith. You have to walk in the faith. And at times, and most of the times, it is hard. But I don't want to say the hardness is negatively. It is, although it is hard, Jesus Christ says, "Come to me with all the burdens, and it will be light." So with Him, it is a way light.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, with Him, it is light.
How does Jesus Christ that you don't see make it easy or make it lighter? How?
You don't see Him, right? But instead, this Holy Spirit lives in you, dwells in you, and gives you understanding. Everything circulates in the mind, in the brain.
So faith.
So faith. So you decide. If I tell you now, look, your head is too big. I have said what I have said. The thing now is you heard what I said, and then you start meditating on what I said. So you can decide to take it like that. Your head is too big, and the thing irritates you and start eating you up. Or you can say, "You know what? I know my head is not too big, so it doesn't matter what Brie is saying. I know me. I believe in myself." That is where So you know your self worth.
So Colette says, where was it? What she said? She did say it is very hard because the devil is around the corner. I think I just saw
all
that.
the time. Yeah.
And Sandrine is around here. Sandrine, not Colette. It's very hard because the devil is around the corner. Clementine says, I like myself. At the handle, I'm there and there. I always calculate before I speak. More reason why I try to share love and happiness. I always give people the benefit of a doubt. When I vent, I'm a hard
Cool.
plenty. Colin says, with age, I've learned to ignore some battles. I choose my battles.
Yes.
Some people are looking for where to drop their baggages. Assess the situation, person in a relationship before you react. Difficult but possible.
Exactly.
Mimi says, I think addressing situations depends on who the situation is with. I personally think for the close people, we should give them an opportunity to explain themselves. Okay, Tessie, I like your question. Tessie says, sorry, Goretti, this may sound naive. It doesn't. What do you define as a Christian in this context? Somebody who believes in Jesus Christ and who uses the Bible as the what?
Lifestyle.
As their lifestyle. For their lifestyle. Yeah. So who believes in that, who believes 100% in the Bible and whose faith is in Jesus Christ. That's who I consider a Christian. And I'm not talking about necessarily, I'm also talking to lay Christians, actually, those who are not very, but I'm just talking generally for those of you who actively, who are proud Christians, who actively live the Christian faith. Is it hard? The question I'm asking, is it hard to be a Christian? Is it hard? Lord's favor, like it says, work out your salvation
with fear and trembling. Yeah.
It's hard, yes, because you don't walk by sight but by faith. You have to tolerate things that the flesh cannot on its own.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Cindy says, I personally choose my battles wisely. Some things I ignore and some. Nalayo, this person must see my Chris. We're all human. Sha says, as you said, your belly no be stoned. So this my belly deal. Before you bite me for place where it hot, I swear I come back immediately. Now I take myself and then go at it with less anger. I know exactly what you're saying. Okay, so Shanti is saying this. You don't see the wind, but you see the effects. I know it's there. Same thing with having faith in God. You see God in all things, and you need to learn to see things through God's eyes. Okay, I really like that. You really, yeah, you don't see the wind, but you see its effect. You don't see oxygen, but you're alive and you're breathing.
You're breathing oxygen.
Yeah, but actively trying to emulate Christ is, I think, is the question I'm asking. Actively trying to emulate Christ, is that a hard thing to do? And I think everybody is saying it's very hard. Can I raise that book again, please? Sure, it's beautifully broken but blessed. It's that's our beautiful author, and it's a journey on giving the broken pieces to God.
Lord.
It is a journey on giving the broken pieces to God. I think it has the right words for every Christian who is actively trying to leave the faith. So definitely go and buy it on Amazon. The link is somewhere in the comments. Go and buy it, and follow her on her social media handles, which are on the banner that's going across the bottom of the page. Melon,
that's my little sister.
The harder part of being a Christian actually comes from what the society perceives and expects us to do as a Christian.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
About it.
Yeah. Because it's a judgmental world, whether you like it or not. So and it's filled with all kinds of beautiful flowers. These are people like me. So people have different. Let's come to the blame game. Again, tonight we're talking to the author, and I really want you guys to buy it. And so our conversation is around the book, the things she wrote the book. Like I said before, it was such an intimate portrait of your life. No, Tessie, the book is not only for Christians, but it's written through the lens of a Christian, because she gives you, so when she writes a topic and then she gives you a page to put your notes, and then she gives you prayer points that you can use to support that feeling or to heal yourself of whatever that challenge is. And then she gives you Bible verses. So yes, it's a beautiful workbook.
With real life stories, real life experiences.
Real life experiences that you and I will 100% relate to it. We will all relate to it. As women in diaspora, we will definitely relate to it. So I really encourage you guys to buy it. It's on Amazon, beautifully broken but blessed. So you say, this was one that I absolutely love, slaying mini gods. What are mini gods? How did you describe mini gods?
Mini gods, right? Mini god is anything or something which you use to replace God, the Most High God.
Oh.
My shoe was once my mini god.
Oh, my chocolate too. My chocolate was my mini god. Yes.
So, in the days of old, people used to use stones or jewelries as mini gods, But nowadays we have modern mini gods. You have phone. There are some people that their phone. Oh yeah. Is their mini god. There are some people that is meat. Meat can be your mini food, can be your mini god, or social media, Facebook. Exactly. So many things can be your mini god. The question is to identify them. And work on it.
So, guys, I'm asking the audience: Have you ever heard it put like that? Like your addictions are your mini gods. And if you have, please share. Now, how are you helping yourself to slay those mini gods, as Brigitte suggests? Because somebody needs to deliver me from my I need deliverance, like 100%. Somebody, if you have any techniques on how to help me stop being addicted to my phone, I would. I'm listening. I beg. Shanti says, actively living a Christian life is hard, of course, but if you open yourself to God's grace, choose to know God, love Him, and serve Him, then the Holy Spirit is always there to guide you, even during.
Exactly what I said.
Mini gods are idols. Immortal Moza, Jack Daniels is your own mini god. Mimi, what's the question? You said how. What's the question? What I'm asking is, what are some of the ways? I'm asking my audience because we all need tips on how to slay these mini gods of ours. For some people, it's Jack Daniels, like, you know, like Immortal Moza. For me, it's my mobile phone. I don't know what for you is. For some people, it's sex. For some people, it's social media. For some people, it's their shoes. For some people, it's their designer handbags. It's just some people, it's just beautiful things, being surrounded by beautiful things. What is your mini god? For some people, yeah. What is that thing that you're completely addicted to that has really taken away your prayer time, or maybe time for people in your life? And if you have been able to slay your mini god, I beg, help us. Share your tips. Let us all learn, because so many of us need to slay these mini gods in our life. Bri, how were you able to slay your mini gods?
You know, I mean, well, like I said, shoes, you know, and the thing is, you first of all have to accept and realize that you have it, because there are some people that don't even accept it. First, start by accepting it, recognizing the fact, acknowledging the fact that yes, this thing is taken. This is the problem I have, you know.
Yes.
And after that, yeah, how do you do it? For example, with my shoes, I decided, you know, I mean, when I realized it, I decided to, before I buy a shoe, I ask myself this question: is it a need or a want?
Mm-hmm.
And then, for example, if it's their phone, for example, you can limit your time that you use that you have your cell phone on your hand. Limit your time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it might be difficult for you. You know, I just imagine leaving your phone 30 minutes on the table without you being there.
I get withdrawal symptoms.
I do it intentionally. I set my phone at times downstairs and I go upstairs, or I just go outside and I leave the phone there for an hour. I do it. I mean, when you start it in the beginning, it's difficult. You know, you'll be like nervous. You're like, okay, but you keep on pushing yourself, telling yourself that this is it. You have to, because it cannot be that a phone should control me. I should be the one to control the thing, not the thing to control me.
Okay, Mimi is saying something. Mimi says an addiction being looked at as a mini god is a little too harsh. Mimi, can you explain what you mean by that? And Shai is saying has her phone addiction. Shanti says to slay your mini gods, identify the mini gods, call them by name, and find their replacements that will be fulfilling. So you'll be sitting in your bedroom and say, phone, a phone, depart from my life. Is that what you want me to do, Shanti? I think Bessie says, but Brie, we have to appreciate the beauty of life now. The good things that God has given us, and I wouldn't class that as slaying or worshiping.
No, Tessie. You know, that is don't get me wrong, Tess. I like shoe. There was a time when I see a shoe, like I said before, if I want it, nothing will stop me to get it. I just start feeling, you know, you start trembling as if, and then if I come back home and I don't get the shoes, as if I left something in that shop, which is not supposed to be like that. Of course, Tess, we have to enjoy the good things and the good blessings that God has given to us, yes. But let the things, on the other hand, not be as if they're the ones controlling you. You understand me?
Okay.
Yes. I mean, look at me. I like good things, eh?
I know. So, Colin says, believe in your God. How do we judge? Doctor, thank you for joining the show. How do you judge the God and the good and the bad one? I think that's what he's saying. How do you know the good and the bad one? I think maybe if it's almost indispensable, if you look at it as indispensable, then I think maybe that's taking it a bit too far, right?
Actually, we are all turning on the same point, you know, something that controls you. Because there are some people that if they want to sleep, it's as if that phone, or take for example the phone must be with them. And if you dare take their phone for 1 second, they get so aggressive or angry, and you're like, for just a phone. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, don't allow that thing, the good things. Don't look at the gift more than the giver.
Okay, I got it. I think I get it.
Yeah, you got it.
Shanti says, what's your why? What are your goals and purpose in life? If your mini gods don't take you close to those goals, then it's time for a reality check. Let me say something here, Shanti. I think sometimes, some days say I am just tired of having a goal. Like I don't want to have, like this goal-driven, purpose-driven life can sometimes is so exhausting to me. So it's just so exhausting. It's just like, can I not just
be you?
Why can I not just be? Why do I, Yeah, so I hear you, but I think I just needed to point that out because personally, sometimes I just think, man. So if I don't have a goal, then what have I failed in life?
No, you have it, but we need the goals, We need the goals. I have one of my brothers that always asks me, each time he calls, he said, Brie, do you have a plan? I'm like, okay. He said, do you have a plan? I'm like, yes, I have a plan. Very good. That's how everything. Do you have a plan? And I grew up having that in my head, and that is what I'm using. I always have a plan.
That's good. But that kind of he was in my life. Every time I see him calling, I'll change. I'll be like, I was busy. Can I call you? Hello. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you guys. We are almost at the end. But if you're just joining us, we've been talking to author and medical physicist Brigitte Mafopa Njunda, who is the author of this book, Beautifully Broken but Blessed, a journey on giving the broken pieces to God. It's an absolutely fantastic book. It's my go-to book. Since I bought it, I've made sure I've read it, and I need to read it again just to make more notes, because even if Tessie was asking me, is the book written only for Christians? No, it is written through the lens of Christian, because Brigitte is a proud child of God.
Oh,
and
yes.
She wrote it boldly and she lives it fully. And so she wrote this book through that lens. However, if you are not necessarily Christian oriented, if you're Muslim, if you are some other religion, the tips she gives, the prayer points that she gives, you can look at them as meditations. She does also give us Bible verses to aid us in every situation. But what I found so endearing in the book is because everything that she shared, I related to it 100%. I did, Brie. I did. The book is on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. So please make sure. And the link, the direct Amazon link is in the comments. I think Innocent is sharing it. So just click on it. And people, this is when I call on you. We are Cameroonians. There's one story. Oh, Cameroonians, we don't support each other. Cameroonians, we don't support each other. Let's start somewhere. Let's start with this. There's always a good place to start. A good place to start is to buy this book, Beautifully Broken but Blessed.
Thank you.
The broken pieces to God. Let's start there. And you'll be supporting Cameroon business, but you'll be doing something for your soul. Believe me. And if you don't, hey, call me. True.
Thank you so much.
Jill says, my approach has been to tie my happiness to experiences instead of people or things.
Yeah.
See, that's another practical.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Hey, Shanti says, I will buy the book, Brigitte, today. Colin says, the title itself brings the brain jogging immediately. So that's why you're buying the book tonight as well, right? Innocent has put the link. So if you go and get it, congratulations. Yeah, I'll definitely get a copy. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. I mean, before we go, I want to talk about the crowd.
Yes.
Brie has a chapter that she calls the crowd. Brie, tell them what you mean when you say the crowd.
When I say the crowd, right? Yeah, I mean the story from the crowd came. There was this blind man in the Bible, Matthew chapter 20, right? Mm-hmm. And he was blind for a very long time. And when he heard that Jesus Christ was passing by, he shouted. He said, "Jesus, Son of God, have mercy on me." Mm-hmm. And the people around him told him to be quiet. They told him, "Keep quiet, keep quiet." he did not keep quiet. That was amazing. He kept on screaming again. She shouted and shouted, and Jesus Christ attended to him. So the crowd, what is the crowd? I perceive the crowd as those things that hold you back from pursuing your dreams, from pursuing your visions. For example, fear, discouragement, people pleasing, comparison. You know, you always look, lack of appreciation, so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Even yourself, you can also be a crowd to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can also be a crowd to yourself. When your mind starts talking to
Oh,
you
yeah.
negatively, holding you back,
I
that
call
is
them demons. I call them demons. Those demons in your head that tell you that, I bet, who do you think you are that you can host a show? I bet, stay home. Who will watch your show? Who wants to hear what you have to say? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, those are those things. I call them the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like every crowd, you must identify them. The
Yeah.
one thing is never to identify the crowds in your life. They will kill your vision. They
Mm-hmm.
will destroy you. You'll be turning in circles. You will
Mm-hmm.
stay in the box for, you will procrastinate until you don't want to procrastinate anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You must identify them. And it takes wisdom to be able to identify them. It
Yes.
takes
In common parlance, the crowd is just your limiting beliefs.
exactly.
I put a post about that on my Facebook page a few days ago because I call them my demons. Those limiting beliefs. Those are my own demons. So demons are not necessarily in human form because the discouragement that I sometimes get from self.
Yes, exactly. From yourself.
Yeah.
From yourself, you know. You're like, and those things usually come when you start it's good. I'm not saying that it's not good to compare yourself, but you must compare yourself with others positively. I
Yeah.
do compare myself with others to learn positively.
Yeah.
But if the comparison is negatively, it's not worth it. Why should I do it? Why? Why?
I love that. Oh my gosh, Brie, God is good. So many people have bought their books already. I'm so excited as if it's my books. Thank you guys so much. This is amazing. Oh, well done, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Pascal says, wow, I feel so proud just watching this. And moreover, coming from a sister I know deeply, kind of a reality sister, it's not easy to focus, sacrifice, and come out with something that has to do with the touch of God and the touch of reality. Very inspiring. Kudos, Brie. Kudos to you.
Thank you, Pascal.
It's a beautiful, beautiful book. I see. I don't just say it to when everybody will read this, they'll reach out to you and tell you it's a beautiful book. It's so relatable, and I'm just so proud that it's written by a sister that I can relate to. You know, so yeah. So make sure somebody's advising you to do an audio version of the book. So please, you
Yes,
should.
I will.
And you can just call me to read the book for you. So I'm there for you. But yeah, honestly, I just want to thank everyone for having participated so actively today. I am so appreciative. You guys know now, I can't say thank you enough. Just coming to spend your Wednesday evenings with us and sharing your experiences, sharing your knowledge is it's so heartwarming. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm so grateful to you all, and I thank you for your time, for your precious, precious time. As the lockdowns are slowly easing, COVID-19 is finally kind of being able to be dealt with. We know that some of us will have to start going out to work. And so we're trying our hardest to reduce the conversations to an hour, because we've been doing an hour and 20 minutes, an hour 30 minutes, an hour 40 minutes, and just going with the flow when the conversation is exciting. But we have to be, because I know that once the world reopens, you will not be able to give me more than an hour of your time. And I appreciate it for now, and I thank you. So Brie, your audience have been fantastic. Any last words?
Oh my God. I just want to say thank you so much, Goreti. Thank you very much. You know, thank you, Goreti, very much. And I want to say thank you, Colette, so much. You know, Colette was the one that linked me to you. Colette, thank you so much. Colette said, Brie, you are too quiet for an author. Go out there. I'm like, Call, I'm going to pick you up. Even if you don't want it, you have to. I said, okay. Thank you.
And I was like, Colette, I need solid women on this show. Can you recommend any? And she gave me your name. I'm like, but I know Brie now. She's my brother's wife. Okay, so also, while we're on that, Brie, not to interrupt you, but I just want to say, guys, I'm looking for guests because I'm not this train. You see, this woman experience, this community we're building, is not stopping anytime soon. And there are amazing women within our community who have so much to offer. And I just want you people to be aware that so many people are telling me, why don't you bring Nigerians now? You should bring Nigerians. You should go out to other communities now. Bring them. I'm not regarding that, but I really need to know that we've exhausted the amazing men and women within our community. So I challenge you, if you know somebody that you respect, that you admire, and that you think that their contribution in whatever way in your life has been impactful, and recommend them to me. Please recommend them to me so that let them come on our platform and impact our lives, because it's a learning process, Brie. We are all learning. I beg, I need recommendations. Just send people to me and then I will definitely get in touch with them. And for all of you who have done such a brilliant job recommending all these amazing women in the past weeks that have been on the show, I thank you. I thank you for your support. You all are superstars in my book. And all the men who are watching today, Hillary, is it Dr. Hillary, Dr. Collins, Innocent, all of you, we need men as well. We need men, please. So bring your men to a job. Brie, I know I cut you short, but final word to your guest.
Lord, I just want to say thank God and thank everybody for coming to support me. I mean, I really appreciate it and I am so, so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Remain blessed. Thanks a lot.
No, of course. I'm going to send you backstage now and then I'm just going to do a close with our amazing, wonderful guest. So thank you, Brie, and don't hang up. Mwah, mwah. Oh, you guys are amazing. We must address our current issues before we are known for women downers. That's Mimi. Oh yes, beautifully broken but blessed. This is the book. This is Mimi's book. Not Mimi's book. This is Bree's book, and it's available on Amazon. So many people have actually bought during the course of the show. So just go on there and purchase your copy. You will not regret it. I want to thank you again. This book, the reason why I'm so passionate and I really wanted to get Bree on the show is because, again, it's written by a Cameroonian sister, and she writes it in a language that you and I will completely relate to. Woman, man, especially if you're reading it as a man, you would see some of your wife's struggles from the point of view of another woman, and so maybe you'll be able to relate to that. So thank you for those who have bought. Thank you for purchasing. For those who are new, this is the Woman Experience. It's a platform that, like I said at the beginning, what we do here, we learn through each other's experience. So your one experience may just be what I have been looking for all my life. With your one experience may just create the biggest impact in my life. Your comments, we encourage our guests to be very interactive. So your comments in the section is probably just what one person is waiting for. So we do this every Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. UK time, which is BST right now, British Summer Time, which is 8 p.m. in Cameroon, and which is 9 p.m. in Europe, well, Paris, that part of Europe, and which is 3 p.m. in the US Eastern, and 1 p.m. in Judith. What part of Canada is that? West Canada. So join us 8 p.m. UK time, which at the moment is the same time as Cameroon, and we appreciate you. A question from Innocent, who says, how do we watch your movies online? Okay, so my name is Goretti. For those who are new to the show, I'm Goretti. I'm a filmmaker. I'm based in London, and I actually have my film on YouTube. It's Woman. If you visit the website, I'm going to put the link. If you go on my page, the page through which you're watching this, you would find my link. You would find the movie. If anybody, my people, if anybody is on YouTube, can you give them the link? Thank you very much. So that's it, Innocent. I'm gonna put the link with this as well. Yes, Mimi, men who are willing to address women issues are welcome, 100%. So on that note, Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a lovely, lovely evening. We're back on Friday. Our guest on Friday is a Cameroonian filmmaker in Cameroon, and we'll be talking the Cameroonian film industry. So hey, I mean, it's not so you're going to party, right? So come spend an hour with us Friday evening, 8 p.m. We're here. We're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've been awesome. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Bye-bye.